past um, treasurer, and then Rafael Villagomez, who is the current president. So I'm hoping that maybe one or two other people might be able to join.
Okay.
But
No,
before,
Norma, just as a point of clarification,
yes,
Rafael is not in the Zoom right now.
oh, he's not? Okay, I see his name, so I wasn't sure. Thank you for that, Gail. And we have Gail, who is our coordinator and taking care of this, making this meeting possible too. But before we start with any questions, I wanted to ask Diana, being a past treasurer, if she could give you a quick recap of where we are at now and where the organization financials had been prior to some of the things we have started putting in place as of this year.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you, Ibrahim, and I'm really sorry that you're under the weather. So I hope this meeting will be brief and helpful for all of us so you can get back to resting.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
Elgin Hispanic Network has been an organization that has been led by a board of directors that is a working board. And just last year, we hired our first employee on a part-time 1099 basis.
Okay.
And in order to continue on this path of growing, because we also have increased membership by more than 50%, and we have big dreams, we need a structure in place to hire additional administrative support so that our board can dedicate itself more to the strategic and relationship building efforts, which is why we're seeking a bookkeeper to take over some of the treasurer responsibilities. We have verged just within the last year also out of the $50,000 operating annual budget threshold.
Yep.
And so we are a 501c3. We have filed our state and federal 990s.
Yep.
But that process changes, as you know, when you go over the $50,000 threshold, and would look to someone who has experience with the nonprofit sector to help us stay up to date so that we have we have budget versus actuals at every month meeting, and have an idea how to budget for the future years in a more systematized way. And so that would require some very strong relationship with the full board, especially with our treasurer. But the role of the treasurer would change significantly. So I guess I can just stop there, but it's something new for the organization, which is why there's a number of us on this call just to ask questions so that we can make a selection on who we want to partner with moving forward.
Absolutely.
And then, Diana, correct me if I'm wrong, but also some of the challenges that we're currently having is with keeping up QuickBooks up to date in an effective way of recording transactions and payments. Is that correct?
Well, yes and no. I think we just need someone dedicated, perhaps paid, to do the work on a regular basis each month in connecting with. We have an online platform, as you probably heard, Ibrahim, from Norma, where I would say 90% of our finances are on our electronic website, where we receive payments for our events and our memberships. And so it's a matter each month of reconciling with the account, giving you account access to that platform. And then I would say 10% is done with checks and cash given to us in other ways that just need to be communicated to you via the treasurer. So it's just a matter of keeping that updated, frankly, and connecting we have one bank account, so it's fairly easy that way as well. one bank account that needs to be connected to QuickBooks so that
Yeah,
it's
which
less,
I think Norma and we worked through that kind of, and we found out that we are
yeah,
capable of connecting it.
yeah,
I know with these, because it is a local bank, correct?
yeah, mhm,
So
yeah,
I know with these local banks, unfortunately, the connection always gets removed with QuickBooks. So whatever access it is that we are provided for the bank, we would just need to be able to continue to reconnect the access. So I don't know how it works on with this local bank. I know with with larger banks like JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America, they typically have an option when you add an additional user to be able to have access to connecting third party connections. And so I'm not sure if that's something that you guys would have to work in the back with your bank rep, but that's something that we're going to have to be able to connect. So
yeah, it's actually never been connected. But that will help significantly lower the amount of manual work that the finance
absolutely,
team needs to do. So
absolutely.
Marlene is on the call and she also has treasurer experience. And so I don't know if she wants to add anything to what I already shared. Marlene, is she still here?
I am sorry. I just realized I was muted. Um, Hi, Ibrahim. Yeah, I'm Marlon. I was the treasurer last year, actually 2024, and learned a lot from Diana, who was treasurer previous years there. Yeah, I guess I just would ask, so touching on what you and Diana were just talking about, so would you suggest then additional accounts, because we did talk to another accountant, and I think it was Oscar who mentioned, would it be more beneficial to have separate accounts because we
Like
do
you're
receive,
saying, like a separate bank account.
yeah, so we receive like a lot of membership renewal
Yeah,
checks.
yeah,
We obviously now for the first time have an employee. So our office coordinator, that's payroll. Of course, that's only one payroll check that we cut every month. But would it be easier if we had something specific just to membership? I think membership is usually what kind of hangs us up.
uh-huh.
It's very time consuming to receive those checks and then kind of put them into our, you know, um, accounts receivables. But we do also receive obviously donations
Mhm.
for different events that we hold. So whether it's
Yeah,
donations, whether it's registration fees, whatever it might be.
yeah, I mean, if you guys are wanting to segregate certain funds that are coming in, meaning like, one account is focused on, let's say, membership fees, while another account is focused on, one-off donations, as well as as basically like an operating account. Um, that can definitely be useful, especially if let's say, you guys are having issues with, with the local bank, right? I would definitely recommend opening up an account with one of the larger banks. That way, one, you guys are, if I'm not sure if your bank currently allows you to accept, like, let's say, Zelle payments, right? But, a lot of these bigger banks, they will accept Zelle payments. And keep in mind, this allows you to collect donations without getting charged those merchant fees. So I guess that would be one of my main recommendations if you were to open up another account, that, it kind of opens the door to also collecting payments in a different way.
Yeah, I think the thought for us has always been, we have an account with a community bank mainly because they are part of the Elgin Hispanic Networking Group. And I don't know about the rest of the board members, but I think that's definitely something that we take into consideration. But that's a good point.
Yeah, and
We
it's
have
not you're
discussed.
not yeah, and you're not completely disengaging yourself from them. It's more so opening the door to um, additional avenues for you to collect donations. So if that's something that they don't offer, then that's I feel like at the end of the day, you guys would have to make that decision as to whether it's worth opening up that account to be able to collect donations in a way that doesn't cost you guys money. Because I know Norma had mentioned on the last call with her and I that one thing you guys were wanting to focus on was lowering your merchant fees. Um, and so that's definitely one way to be able to do that, especially considering that I believe Zelle, they offer different ways to be able to collect payments. I believe you can put your QR code out there and people can just scan it from the website or scan it from a flyer and then just be able to Zelle it directly from there. So I know lots of uh, places of worship, this is something that they do as well. So keep in mind that that is a very common way of collecting payments.
Yes, that is a good point. We have discussed having those options. So thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
Ibrahim, and then also one other thing I believe you had mentioned during our conversation was that to also pass along to the members those credit card fees, which I think we already looking to doing that, Diana and Marlene.
No, I don't know that we
So
have discussed that
I
yet.
I kind of did some playing around on you guys' website, and I think while you and I, Norma, we were on the call, I had gone in to see what the process was like for donating, and it looks like the only option that I was given was to be able to donate using a credit card or a debit card, which obviously, as you guys know, that's you guys are going to get hit with those large merchant fees, every time you guys accept payments that way. So one thing that I suggested was to either pass the fee to the individual that is donating, but the only way that you can do that is if you offered them a way to donate that did not cost them any additional money. um, because obviously if you're only going to collect donations via credit card or debit card, but every single time you're applying a service fee for that, that might frustrate some donors that they're not being given an option to be able to donate without getting hit with those additional service charges.
That's a good point.
And I think that there's, I think that there's, I think we've talked about that a long time ago, but the reason we decided not to do that is because we just lacked the capacity to reconcile another account with another platform in addition to Wild Apricot, so I think that's something to, just to be mindful of, for the size of our organization, how many platforms and how many accounts can we manage and handle?
Mhm. And I mean, from an accounting perspective, for us, reconciling these accounts, they're not a problem for us. So this is something that we do on a daily basis for our clients, and we have a pretty good system in place to be able to do this. Not only in a clean way, but in a quick way as well. So as long as, like I said, as long as the bank stays connected to QuickBooks and it's continuously feeding into the QuickBooks account, that's not something I would really worry about.
Good.
I guess I have a question about your other nonprofit accounts. Ibrahim, can you name drop a little bit with us about who else you work with or what kinds of focus areas that their missions are aligned with?
Yeah. So for us, well, first and foremost, we do our best to try to keep client information to a low. We do typically share examples based off of things that we do for our clients. So I can kind of give you an example. We work with a mosque um, that obviously relies on their donations to keep functioning. And I think that's where, I gave that example where they collect payments via Zelle because they came to us with the same concern, is that they were accepting credit card payments, and their merchant fees were getting very, very high. And, obviously you want you don't want as much funds as you can to go to the organization. And when you have, 2-3% that's being taken out, it can be very frustrating, especially when you're dealing with large sums of money. And so once we got them to switch over to that, I believe almost 50% of their donations now are either through Venmo or it's through Zelle. And so they've been able to cut that expense significantly.
That makes sense. Anybody else?
And obviously
Questions?
you guys are growing. I know, well, one, we plan on also being able, I'm sorry, I'm trying to speak and think, and it's tough with this sickness right now. I know, Norma, you had mentioned that you guys have monthly meetings with members, right? Um, and so ideally, what we would like to be able to do as well is join in on those monthly meetings with you guys. Because I think not only is it a great opportunity to see face to face with you guys, but I think with us also being in Elgin, it gives us an opportunity to be able to see face to face with other people and other businesses in the city of Elgin, and um, seeing eye to eye with everyone. And not only obviously you guys are a Hispanic organization, but the fact that obviously you welcome anyone and everyone, that's something that we appreciate, and gets us excited to also be involved in.
Yes. So yeah, Ibrahim and I talked about them becoming members and joining us also at one of the monthly meeting. Hopefully this one coming if you're feeling better, but if not, if some of your team members want to attend, um, I can coordinate with Janet to add you to the guest list.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep in mind too, everyone, that um, the communication that we're going to be having with you guys, it's not going to be just between myself and you guys. We do have a team that hops back and forth between different client accounts. And so let's say now, for this example, I'm out sick, right? It's not like someone's not going to be focusing on your account. We have 4 other people that can step in and assist in managing your account specifically.
And
Thank you
Ibrahim,
for.
what
Go
what
ahead,
kind of
Marlene.
what kind of communication would you need from our treasurer on our end? Like, what would your expectations be for, are you looking to meet with us?
I think with getting everything established in the beginning, I think it would definitely be beneficial to meet maybe in person. First and foremost, we need to get access set up on all of the accounts. And for us, it's more so, and I tell all clients this, give it a month or two for us to be able to see what the process is like. Because at the end of the day, we're learning a new system with you guys. We're trying to make things work based off of what it is that you guys want. But obviously, we're going to make our suggestions when we need to make them. As far as communication, right? Other than, if we were to meet in person, um, anything via email. I think Norma, she has my cell phone. If any questions come up that need an immediate answer, right? I think Norma would know how to be able to communicate with me on that.
Yeah, for sure.
And so on an ongoing basis with the treasurer, would you just be looking for like a quarterly one-on-one?
Yeah, so we can always set something up on a quarterly basis. In the beginning, we might need to meet maybe once a month just to make sure everything is being set up properly. Because I know Norma had shared, she was sharing her screen and showing me the QuickBooks account from last year. And excuse me, and I know you guys categorize things in a certain way based off of different events, right? And obviously, if we're not involved in those events, we may need assistance in knowing what transactions pertain to what. And so that would definitely require um, that would definitely require, in the beginning at least, monthly communication. But what happens is, and I think I had mentioned this to Norma, at the end of every month we send a transactions list out to our clients that we require assistance in allocating. And so typically we send this out towards the end of the month, and it's called Ask My Client, and it'll be a list of all of the transactions that, I don't know if it would be the treasurer that would need to assist us on this, but basically letting us know either what events this pertain to. um, as you know, when you're seeing transactions in your bank account, sometimes it can be difficult to, even though you're the one who made the purchase, it can sometimes be difficult to remember exactly what that transaction pertained to. And so, whether it's you guys reaching out to us, we're always going to be reaching out on a monthly basis, no matter what, with questions that we were unable to answer on our end.
Um, Abraham, I just have a question and another thing actually that you um have already answered, which was going to be one of my questions regarding the structure of your team and
Mhm.
whether or not I understand from our previous conversations you do have several team members, right? And so that you assign clients to
Correct.
someone in your, so we would
Correct.
be primarily assigned to one person that would be focused
You
on.
would you would be so what's nice about our team is that our skills are very diverse. And so I believe Sam joined the call, but Sam is one of the managing partners here, and he has multiple certificates with QuickBooks. And so he is going to be the main source with any QuickBooks questions. We also have Nick Roberts on the call here. He's one of our interns that has been assisting Sam with a lot of the clients regarding QuickBooks. And so whether it's from myself or it's going to be from Sam or if it's going to be from Nick, you get multiple eyes on your accounts.
Okay, thank you. And so then the other two things that I just wanted to confirm with you On the questions that were emailed to you, you did mention that we should be able to also save on our QuickBook expense membership.
Yeah,
That
so we're partnered with QuickBooks, and because we're partnered with QuickBooks, we're able to offer our clients 30% off of the standard pricing for the QuickBooks account. And so, as long as we were to switch the billing over to us, meaning that we would become the responsible party for paying for the billing, that would give you guys a 30% discount. And so, typically, what would happen is we would take over the billing, and then whatever the cost is, it would just get applied to your monthly fee.
Okay, perfect. And then the last thing I wanted to confirm is in the RFP that you sent us, the monthly charge is $200, correct?
Yeah, correct, correct. So typically with this type of an account, especially when you guys are wanting to one, it requires not only monthly attention to it, but monthly communication with you guys, as well as categorizing certain spends based on the different events. We do typically charge a higher fee for clients like this, but I had told you, Norma, that because you guys are a non-for-profit and you guys are giving back to the community, this is why that we're able to bring the price down for you guys.
Perfect. Thank you. We definitely appreciate that.
Of course.
All right.
Ibrahim, this is Linda. I'm the treasurer.
Hi.
Thanks for all your info. But I do wanted to maybe point something out. If the board decide to go with you,
Mhm,
and you say you can meet monthly,
mhm,
that's great. I'm very flexible. But I think that maybe the first 2 months or so, at least the
mhm.
first month, we're probably going to have to meet uh, every 2 weeks because we want to make sure that you're familiar with the system. Are you flexible to do that?
Yeah, I mean, we're always very flexible. Obviously, Myra is on this call right now. She knows, we offer a lot of flexibility. As long as we believe that it's also needed, um obviously we want your account to be in the best standing that we can get it. So obviously if it is something that we believe is necessary, then that is most definitely something that we'd be willing to do, whether it's in person or via Teams or via Zoom like this. We're very flexible with this.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
Ready. Anybody else has any other questions? I know Diana had to leave and we have used our half an hour, I guess, but definitely if anybody else has a question or Ibrahim wants to add anything else, or if you have any questions for us.
No questions. I would just say, obviously, like Linda had mentioned, I think the first couple of months, this is going to be more of a learning for us with you guys, and so I would say just keep that in mind. I always tell our clients, if you can be a little bit patient with us with the first month or so, because we are trying to learn. Essentially, I know you guys are a non-for-profit, but what I tell our clients is we're trying to learn a business that you've been operating that obviously we're just getting involved in. So that's going to require a lot of back and forth communication. Whomever it is that we need to be communicating with, I would just ask that, as you see stuff come in, if you can provide quick responses, that would be appreciated on our end.
For sure. Alrighty. Anybody else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you again, Ibrahim. Thank you for everybody that was able to join in the meeting. And Ibrahim, we are going to be meeting later in this week. So I believe by sometime next week, the board would have made a decision. And I'll communicate with you as soon as we find out or have an answer.
Sounds good. Sounds good. It was nice speaking with all of you.
Thank you.
Feel
Hope you
better.
feel better.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Ibrahim.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Thanks. Bye-bye.